Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy AO Fuzz with the AO Fuzz podcast. We're back into the thick of it with an amazing content creator and also amazing streamer, XoSashaRaee. We're going to get into them a little bit here, but first, we got to pay my motherfucking light bills. Y'all already know. Our sponsor of today's episode is Glitch Energy. If you guys have not checked out Glitch Energy, please go check them out. Use code AOFuzz at checkout for an amazing discount. Again, appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys rocking with us, having fun. The last podcast was amazing. We had amazing questions with Vextra, which artist formerly known as Rena the Mayor. Amazing content creator, amazing supporter. So we're going to go ahead and play this here in a second, and we'll be right on back.
Let's begin. Step 1, when you're getting ready, look hot. Step 2, gotta catch a cab to the bar. Step 3, get a drink with a cherry and tie it in a knot. Step 4, dance your ass off. Welcome to the Bad Bitch Academy. Welcome to the Bad Bitch Academy. Step 1, shake ass. Post a video, make your ex boo mad. Lock eyes with him when you throw it back. He looked at his new girl and he got sad. I'm a feisty bitch, I'm a pricey bitch. I'm a hot girl, but I'm still an icy bitch. Face card never max, I'll swipe the bitch. And if I think she a chop, I won't hype the bitch.
Look, I'm going to just tell you this right now. Megan Thee Stallion saved that song. I love you, Paris, but Megan Thee Stallion saved that song. I'm just saying. But anyway, welcoming to the stage, an entrepreneur, really, a multi-award winning, multi-AVN, and XBIZ nominee. Bring it to the stage here, XoSashaRaee. Let them know who you are. Say a little bit about yourself and talk your shit.
I just have to say too, yeah, Meg definitely saved that song, but it's a little vibe though. I was bopping my head like, okay, I kind of fuck with this.
Like 2 a.m. at the club, at the gay club. That we be vibing to that.
Hell yeah, a couple shots in.
It's fine. We don't know what she's saying, but we vibing.
But hey, y'all. My name is Sasha, also known as XoSashaRaee. But you could really call me whatever, baby girl, cutie pie. No, I'm just kidding. Most people just call me Sasha. But yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm already vibing out. I love that little music. Shit.
You gotta start it off right. You can't not have a little bit of a good intro.
Facts.
Because I see some podcasts, this no tea, no shade. I'm just gonna, because this is the thick and girthy podcast. Okay, we into the thick of it. There's some podcasts where they be like, "Welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to let you know that today we're going to be talking about," and it's like an inserted clip, and it's like blah 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 talking. Bro, no.
Listen, if y'all into that, because there's a space for everybody, but I like mine to be a little spicy, a little chaotic, a little raw, a little, just a little something, because I'm all of that. So
I'm telling you right now, I'm canceling that shit. Fuck that. Do not care. By the way, this is an adult podcast, guys. We might be using such words as shit, bitch, and fuck. It's gonna happen. Karen, yes, I do get your emails, and I know you're my ex sending me those emails, so just stop. Okay, it's not a good look. But now that we've kind of broken the ice here, we're gonna jump right into the thick of it, like I said, and these questions are going to be up, down, sideways, and always in between.
Okay, let's go. Spicy, I love it. I'm a toddler.
Me too. What are you terrible at but love doing anyways?
Okay. So I don't think I'm terrible at it. I actually think that I'm very amazing at this, and I wish more people weren't haters about it. But I'm a vocalist. Like I can sing. Like I'm like Mariah Carey status, and I sing all the time. But some people, my haters, like to tell me that I'm not as great as I sound in my head. And I have a lot of voices in my head. So the majority of my voices, they tell me I really can't sing, but the one bad bitch voice, she tell me I got the pipes. So I listen to her. But
Y-
yeah. It's
You know,
singing.
same. I look, I'm gonna be honest. I write, I make music. I cannot stand the sound of my voice. Like I can't stand the way I sound. So you got one up on me because all the voices in my head are saying, "Stop, just stop." Like, but I have a voice in my head that he sounds like Morgan Freeman,
Oh.
and I swear he sometimes he just goes, "Just stop."
I can actually imagine that.
It's just a random voice that pops in there every now and again. We're all a little, it is what it is.
We all a little crazy. It's fine.
And one of the things I kind of like to ask is, what is one of your favorite moments? And this can be inside streaming, and this can be like outside in the world. What is one of your favorite moments just in life that you just go to for a happy memory?
Ooh, I have so many good memories, but the thing about my memories, they're very much activated or reminded depending on what I'm doing. It's gonna sound a little crazy, but I can't really think of memories unless something kind of triggers it, if that makes sense. But what I can think of is something more recently. I went bowling, and on the way home, we were driving around just listening to music, but driving around like rich neighborhoods. And we were like rapping J. Cole and just having a good vibe. And for me, I love driving. I especially love when it's nighttime, you got the right playlist on, the weather's nice enough, you can have the windows down and you're just cruising. So that would probably be a really good memory that I can think of off the top of my head.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a good thing to do. It's good for your soul. It's good for everything else. But don't cue the wrong playlist.
Oh, Lord.
Because I've been on the both sides of it. Okay, I queued this playlist and I thought it was my hype playlist, right?
Mhm.
No, it's my sad song playlist.
Mm. Mm.
Crying at 2 a.m.
Mm.
It's a look. It may not have been a good look, but it was a look.
But
And then on
it's
the
something about the soul, though, like crying in the car with that sad playlist. You got the windows down, the night sky, and you just crying, Like, I feel like that's probably what the soul really needs at times. And I wish more people could experience that. But when you want to turn up and you do accidentally pick the wrong playlist, yeah, that kind of shifts the energies a bit.
look, I was on the side of the highway crying.
Oh no, you down
I
bad.
was down bad that time. But I also have the opposite side of that, which I had turned on my playlist, which is my rage playlist, and I thought it was, just the normal like vibe playlist. Spotify
Mm,
has said today you're going to be violent.
mm,
And what had happened is I have a little bit of a lead foot at
mm,
times.
mhm,
And I was on Highway 5 just driving.
mm.
And your boy got a 125-mile-an-hour speeding ticket.
I believe it. Because they be out on that highway. They be out.
That was a point on the license.
Yeah.
And that took 5 years to get off. Anyway,
Mhm.
it was Not one of those memories that I am very fond of. And it was playing all the heavy rock stuff that I just, I have to be in the mood for that music. And apparently at that time I was in the mood for that music.
Dude, that's crazy. Hmm.
And over here on the AO Fuzz podcast, aka Into the Thick of It, we kind of go up, down, sideways, in between, like I said. And there's going to be some serious questions. There's going to be some weird questions. This one's a little bit on the serious side. This kind of goes into the industry you're in and also goes into kind of who you are as a person. Have you ever faced a challenge within your space of work that you have really had made second guesses, going like, why am I doing this shit? And how did you overcome that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say probably my entire career. So since I was 18 and I'm almost going to be 33, I contemplate every day, like, why the fuck am I putting myself through this? For those that don't know, I am what you would consider a vanilla streamer, which for an example would be like Twitch streamers or like YouTube Live or TikTok Live or Kick, those type of streamers. But I'm also in the adult industry, which I'm no longer a cam model, but I did start off as a cam model, which is exactly like Kick, except I take my clothes off and might do a few other things. But essentially, it's all the same. And I've always had a lot of dilemmas and questions and conversations surrounded around my race. I am a Black woman, a dark-skinned Black woman. I am loud and proud about that. And, socially, we're not where we were 60, 70, 80 years ago, but we are still living in a time where race is a huge topic. And you have to learn how to balance I'm not going to use morals. Balance knowing when to say something and not say something when it comes to business. And that has taken me about 13, 14 years to really learn how to balance those two, because I am a human first before I'm anything. And if you attack me by the way I look, I'm automatically ready to pop right back. But you can't always do that, especially in a business profession. So there isn't really I did X, Y, and Z and it works. It's more so just about learning from past mistakes or past experiences, taking that into the now and the future, and kind of readapting to whatever situation is presented in front of you then, and learning how to adjust or tweak certain things. Because I'm going to deal with this literally to the day I die. So it's a battle that sometimes I'm not willing to fight in that moment, because I have to look at, is this really going to affect me negatively, or can I take it, flip it, turn it, and make it work for me in a positive way? And that's the route I try to take it.
Yeah, that's definitely the route that, growing up where I grew up, I was exposed to seeing both sides and seeing, I'm like, why would they do this? Why would this person be like that? But I grew up to realize and become an ally for it. I should say in my middle of my life. When I was younger, I just didn't really know what was going on. You know what I mean? I was kind of blind to it. I just didn't know what was going on. And there has been, being in the industry and you also being in the industry, I've actually walked out on a shoot because they were using a slur that I just said, that's not something you need to be using. That's not something you need to be using. I will not partake of the shoot, as well as the 3 people that came with me are walking out right now. That's the reason why, me being a gay individual, we don't have the same struggles, but we can at least know where each other's coming from.
100%.
because that's something too. Is this going to affect me? Should I do this? It's we have the same ideology, but not the same struggle. So that's why I know, as personally as me, as a gay male, I feel for a lot of things that are going on with social injustice and things like that. It's part of the DNA in me. Being raised, like I said on the podcast, being raised in a multicultural home, seeing every shade, taught me a lot. I learned experiences, learned things that I never knew before. And trust me, yes, I do know how to season my food, okay?
Oh, thank goodness. No, I'm just kidding.
If there is not at least 3 or 4 different types of seasoning on the food, no.
The food don't got no color to it. Like, your chicken should not still look like the way it came out the package. I need that chicken to look like it got some color on it. Okay?
You got to put a rub. You got to put at least a rub and a couple, some lemon powder, garlic powder.
Throw the whole damn pantry in there, like just season it.
Start mixing stuff. Because it is what it is.
I won't lie, I am that person. Like, if I go to your house, I'm looking in the pantry. I'm like, let me see what their pantry looking like. What kind of seasonings they got? Do you got the Laurie's up in here? Oh, Laurie's.
See, the Laurie's we didn't have. All right, we had Pepe's and Poppies. Okay, it was more of a California thing.
Okay, I grew up on that too. That is
that's what we
definitely a Cali thing. Yeah.
We had the Poppies, we had that, and then we had the oh man, my brain is farting right now. But it has a pig on the label, and I can't think of the name right now. But they sell it in like large, and holy crap, large sizes. And you used to put that on everything. You put it on meat, you put it on chicken, you put it on pork, you put it on greens.
It's a universal seasoning. Like, it's like salt and pepper. You add it to everything.
No, it was kind of funny when one of my best friends cooked for me, and this is, fresh out of Cali, fresh out of where I lived, and had moved into an area where I was like, man, I feel like weird over here. They had cooked what was that? It was pork chops. And they didn't put anything on them.
Wait, what you mean?
They just cooked them.
Bruh, I'm sorry. That's just sensitive. Wait, let me clarify. Like, they took it out the packaging and then they just threw it on the skillet?
Yeah.
Ciao. The way I would have been not hungry that day.
No olive oil, no butter.
Wait, stop it. You lying now.
No, they put it right on the dang cast iron skillet.
I'm going to hell. Because who in their right mind?
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
They didn't even clean it. Obviously not. They didn't put no oil or no butter in there, and they ain't seasoned it. Of course, they didn't clean it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The cast iron skillet was not seasoned.
I believe it.
When they were done, they put the cast iron skillet in the dishwasher.
What?
Yeah, I knew that what friendship was not gonna last.
Oh, the way my heart just started beating.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get your heart rate up.
Oh, I think I might have high blood pressure, diabetes, or something, because that runs, but I ain't ready for it to activate.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll make a tweet about it later. It's speaking on something funny here. What is your favorite curse word to say?
Ooh, probably bitch. I say bitch a lot, or fuck. It's either fuck or bitch, or a combination of the two.
See, my newest one, it's Spanish.
Ooh.
And it's pinche puta.
Oh, yeah. Pinche puta. Yeah. I love that one too. I be like, pendejo.
I don't know why, for some reason. It used to just be fuck.
Mm.
But for some reason it just rolls off the tongue better with me.
Pinche puto.
Pinche puta. And
I love that shit.
it's because of the girls I work with, and they all didn't know that I speak a little bit of Espanol. And I understand it. I don't understand a lot of it, but I understand enough of it to get get what they're saying. They were talking shit about me, and I walked up to them and I was like, "Hola, cómo estás?" Immediate crickets. Immediate crickets.
Looking at each other like,
Oh,
this flaca no español.
oh. That's what they did. And again, it's kind of a weird situation. Again, being where I grew up, I picked up things. And everybody's like, "You are too Caucasian." And I'm like, little do you know.
On the outside, maybe, but the inside,
I'm like, on the outside, no. This kind of goes into like content creation and some stuff that I wanted to ask. How do you handle negative comments during stream or off stream, like with Instagram, and like kind of how we're in the digital age of kind of putting ourselves out there online?
I will say, with experience comes thicker skin, and you kind of just don't even really notice them anymore. When I first started, they got to me. Like being called a whore or being called like a fugly bitch, like that shit would literally make me cry. And I would feel ashamed and I would feel embarrassment. But then I just learned, people are keyboard warriors, and the internet has made people be able to be bullies and not face any consequences. Because if you say that shit to my face back in the day, I'd beat your ass, like no problems. But you can get away with it on the internet because we're all just a photo icon and you can be anywhere in the world. But if you just learn that that's not really who you are and you know that it kind of comes with the job, it becomes easier to navigate and deal with. I personally love entertaining them when I'm streaming because they're going to come. Like, I know they are always going to come. At some point in the stream, some troll is going to come in and they're going to talk about me picking cotton. They're going to call me a slur. They're just going to go for the typical racist shit. So I like to make it into content, and instead of giving them the reaction that they want, I'll flip it and I'll make a whole joke out of it, or I'll be like, bruh, I'm too bougie for that. Like, they got machines to pick that for me. Like, I'll just try to take away the power that they think they have by saying hateful things and making it my power and be like, this isn't going to hurt me, and I'm going to show you it's not going to hurt me, and now you're going to feel stupid and dumb about it at the end of it. So, but that all comes with, again, experience, and also I think having a good support system around you offline too, where you're getting, I hate the word validation because sometimes that can seem and be used in a negative way, but when you have a good support system with you offline, it does remind you and show you that you're not the things that people try to say about you in a malicious way online. So it's also like a reminder to real life and reality versus the online, somewhat fantasy curated space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah, it's just fun. Like, it's just funny. Like, especially when you're a female streamer too. Like, you're gonna get somebody that's gonna come in there. They're gonna sexually harass you. They're gonna want to sexually objectify you, even when you're not doing anything. Like, you can be in a baggy ass t-shirt with sweatpants on, hair fucked up, no makeup on, and they'll still be like, "Damn, baby, show that ass," or "Show them tits," and you're just like, "Damn, bro, like." You down that bad? Like, do you not see how I look right now? Like, what
It's
makes you think?
it's one of those things that I get it too on the opposite spectrum. It's the yo, show me that chest, or yo, show me that ass. Like, and I'm like, baby girl, I am not a bottom. Baby girl, you are not gonna see that unless I want you to see that.
That part.
Or it's the hey, show me your feet.
Oh yeah, and I'd be like, yeah, nah, ain't no free feet picture was out here. Nah, bro, shit.
I'm like, no.
No. I know what you gonna do with that. No. Pay me.
Exactly. That's what I'd be saying. This goes into a little bit about something funny that I witnessed on your stream. How do you handle technical difficulties when you streaming?
Well, it really just depends on my mood at the time. There have been moments where I have completely crashed out. I've got into really bitchy mode. Like I've ended stream early because I couldn't figure something out. I've cried because maybe I was already having an emotional day, and then I'm like, ah, fuck. Of course, I'm gonna have technical problems. Then there's moments where I just fucking go with it. And, like I mentioned earlier, I got voices in my head or whatever. And sometimes they'll come out and they will kind of just take over the shit. And I'll just blame them why something ain't working until I get it to work or I figure it out eventually. And yeah, it's pretty much a shit show either way when it comes to tech issues with me because you never know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm.
Look, all I'm saying is Amy and Bob need to be taken off a fucking payroll. They was fucking with your mic when you was trying to do some good Whitney, and just have a good time.
But see, that's the thing. Like, they be hating on me, like they be trying to take away my moment because I be killing it. They couldn't let me have my sold out tour because I was doing too good. I was really just tearing it up. So of course, like an Amy and Bob, they just wanted to come in and try to shut me down. But I didn't let them win in that moment, even though they kept trying all night long.
They was trying it that night. It still was a vibe though.
That was a shit show stream. I'm sorry, but that shit was so funny.
Look, I was laughing so hard, I got a nosebleed from it. Like, I don't think you understand. That's my chest hurt. I was like, am I having palpitations? Do I need to go to the doctor? Like, I ain't laughed that hard in a while.
Bro.
Like, I was dying.
Well,
I even put on the Apple Watch. I put on the Apple Watch to see if I was having a heart attack.
Shut the fuck up.
It was dead ass. No cap, no lie.
On God.
It was bad. It was good. It was a good stream. Bad for me.
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't expect that. I was like, I did not expect any of that in that stream.
I didn't expect none of that either, honestly. You know what it is? It's my friend Mary Jane. Sometimes she makes me very happy. And so Mary Jane was there hanging out with us that evening. So she kind of took over the stream because I woke up the next morning and I was like, what the fuck?
What
was I doing?
Look, all I'm gonna say is that content that you were making that night, fucking gold. Fucking gold.
Well, thank you. I would say I tried, but I didn't. I just was living in the moment.
Look, I'm telling you, that's all cap and lies. She had that shit scripted. There was a teleprompter. Amy was putting up cue cards. Fucking, that's how it was. Like, there was no way that was unscripted. Just saying.
Yo, if I could script that type of content, I feel like I would be so funny all the time. But no, it was my homegirl Mary Jane. You know, she really came through for me that night, and
Mary Jane, man.
Yep. So I'm glad you're able to experience it.
I was like, I need to give Mary Jane a raise that day.
For real.
So this one kind of is random and off the topic. What is the weirdest smell you ever smelled?
Oh,
I know it's weird, but gotta ask.
Okay, let me think. The weirdest smell.
Like I have one. I gotta know from you first.
Okay. You know, sometimes farts have a smell and sometimes they don't. And then sometimes they just have like a
An aroma.
Yeah, but like it kind of smells good.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
shouldn't.
But it shouldn't. It
But
shouldn't.
it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would have
Look,
to say that's the weirdest. Cause then I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, why you think this smell good? Like
look. No tea, no shade. To the amazing performer by the name of Jason. There was a scene that we were shooting, and you know, I was up in that. And I smelled this smell where it smelled like vanilla cupcakes. And I don't know where that was coming from. Because we were on a set that did not have any vanilla cupcakes. until I happened to, you know, and go, oh, that's coming from his booty hole. Okay. So we actually called them vanilla cupcake for like 6 months.
That's kind of a cute nickname though, vanilla cupcake. Like
He got so mad.
Oh, poor thing.
Come to find out it was an allergic reaction to the lube we were using on him.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, it was that. Yes, TMI guys, I'm sorry. Again, adult podcast. We say off the cusp shit. Sorry,
Damn,
Mom.
that just changed it.
Yeah, it was he was having an allergic reaction. He couldn't film for 3 months. Anyway,
Poor vanilla cupcake.
poor vanilla cupcake. Shout out. God, shit. Oh, I derailed that one. My bad.
Fucking Amy.
Fucking Amy. I use that at work now, by the way.
Do you?
Yes, something will be like moved or something like fucking Amy. Damn it, she can't do her job. And it's funny because I said it one day and the corporate lady was there. Was like, "You hired an Amy?" And I was like, "Oh shit! How do I go about this?" Fucking anyway. Goddamn. What? My brain. I'm sorry. Off the rip. What is one of the cringiest things that has ever happened to you on the internet?
Oh.
Where you look back and went, maybe I shouldn't have posted that. Or, you know, one of those moments.
You know, okay. So this was like back in the day, my early times in the spicy industry.
Mm-hmm.
And my ex-husband and we would do, I don't know if the site is even still around, but it was called Cam 4 and it was a couple, so you were able to have both sexes live.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one request for a video that involved feet, and vanilla cupcakes
Oh my.
without the allergic reaction.
Mm.
And it was really awkward because I had to like rub my feet together. Imagine having to put baby oil on your feet and you have to rub in the baby oil and you get between the toes but it's like the jelly version of baby oil, like the thick version. So it doesn't feel too good.
Oh no. Oh, run away.
Yeah, yeah. And I still think about that guy to this day. I mean, it was a good pretty penny, like, it was a nice little bag. But I really posted that on the internet. I mean, I scrubbed it, so you probably can't find it unless you really deep dive. But yeah, I was like, I don't like that feeling with the feet for some reason being out there. It just cringed me out because now I think about him whenever feet get involved sometimes, and it's like, ugh, a full body chill.
Oh, that got me too, because I'm having a PTSD flashback.
No.
Um,
No.
so my story kind of similar. I did some basically I'm a dom, so BDSM. I'm a dom. I had a client that would buy me Louboutins and want me to break the Louboutins on him. But there was food involved. So
Wait.
I can never think about a red bottom the same way. Ever. Again.
Did you have to put the food inside of the shoe? And then okay. Okay.
And imagine, because Louboutins, they don't go up to a size 13 in men's. So you can imagine what I was shoving my foot into.
Oh man, them poor phalanges.
My feet hurt so bad. Anyway, but that was a couple racks in the bank. Anyway,
Period.
It was one of those ones where I went, car's paid, rent's paid. I got an extra money in the bank. What do I do?
But now you see Louis Vuitton, and you're like, oh, okay.
No, I see girls wearing them, and I'm like, ugh.
I wonder what you did to get those. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's my brain immediately goes to that. And, yeah, no, it was one of those things where when I had that client, I was like, you know what? I don't gotta go strip tonight. I don't gotta go dance.
I miss go-go dancing. I really do. Like, that was such an era of my life that I wish I enjoyed more in the moment because I miss it now. Like, I find myself being like, oh, I miss those days. Like, oh, I loved go-go dancing.
I loved it, but I had a love-hate relationship with it because of where I was working. So the only couple gay clubs that were really there were San Francisco and then the capital of California. That's really the only ones that you could make a bag in. You know what I mean? Like
That's
if you
true.
were if you needed like your money, that's the places you would go to go make your money. And the clientele is very bipolar opposite at each one. So I would have to, you'd have to invest a lot of time and money into like your outfits and things like that. Speaking about the cringiest moments, because I just remembered one, I learned that white thongs were not my friend.
They're no one's friend.
Especially if your friend decides to tell you, hey, you should like maybe do like a light coat of like self tanner. And I was a baby in the industry, let's be honest. I didn't know all the things and the tricks and the tips and things. And I thought you had to put that all over your body.
Oh.
Needless to say, that was a tan bikini at the end of that photo shoot. And thank goodness those photos are gone. Because I have searched for them and deep dived for them, and they are gone. Because it looked like I had a crotch full of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did not look good. Okay. And I'm kind of like, when I get sun, and I tan up pretty nice, but that did not, it was not it. I learned that red, blue, green, sequins, and like camo colors were my thing.
Okay.
Cheetah print did not look good on me. Leopard print did not look good on me. Zebra, hell no. Did not look good on me. But the other ones, I found my color palette. Found my color palette. And this dives into another question. What is one of the weirdest things you've ever witnessed? And this can be in the adult industry, and this can be like in real, just in life in general.
The weirdest thing I've ever witnessed. Damn, that's kind of hard. Because, like, things that are considered weird to normal people are considered normal to me. So I'm like, oh, you thought that was weird? Oh, I thought that was just normal. Like, but,
I'll tell you mine real quick, and then you could definitely think on it. Mine was at this thing called Folsom Street Fair.
Oh yeah.
Which you know what that is.
Yeah.
Do not Google it, people, please.
Yeah, please don't.
I witnessed a man in a full horse outfit and another man in a full dragon outfit fisting each other.
Oh.
And that is ingrained in my memory that I wish I never saw that. I can never think of, and I can't say the dragon because it's a copyrighted thing, and I can't say what the other horse was, but it rhymes with Shmoni.
Okay.
You know, the little Shmonies. And the dragon was from, yeah. I can't think of those two things ever the same way.
At the street fair, though?
Yeah. At an expedition. Oh my God, I just said that wrong.
Yeah, you did. That's how
traumatized I am right now.
Oh man, dude, that's crazy. But also, if anyone knows what the Folsom Street Fair is, that's also kind of like on par because it used to be batshit, just almost anything went down, and it should not have because it still is in public. But because of the type of street fair it was, and the timing of where life was, you kind of got away with some stuff. So I'm not too surprised, but I'm just like, oh, I couldn't actually imagine seeing that with my own two eyes. Like,
If I remember correctly, this was the second year before they put up fencing.
Okay.
So it was just in.
Damn.
Just out there. Like, if you were a family that just said, let's go drive down. What that's literally what was happening.
Oh my gosh.
I turned that corner and I was like, whoop. What did I sign up for?
Well, there it is.
I thought this was like a farmer's market. This was not a farmer's market.
No.
There was definitely some farming going on. But not the farming that I thought of.
Oh man. Well, shit. I totally forgot to think about mine because I was too busy focused on yours. and how weirded out I got. Shit.
If you would have saw it.
Yo. Honestly, I feel like a weird moment for me is I went to this girl's house and she lived in the middle of nowhere basically. I'm born and raised from California. So this place is down south.
Okay.
And it basically reminds me of like the hills have eyes. Like you have to take the small airport, so Burbank Airport, to even fly into the city.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
You continue, yeah.
And then still the airport is like an hour away.
Okay.
So I went to go hang out with her. We were gonna like make content and stuff together, but her boyfriend ended up coming over, and this was the first time I had really started to dabble with dabs, and she did dabs all the time. So me, like, I'm not a little bitch. Like, I don't like feeling punked out. So I'm like, yeah, I can match you. No, don't do that, kids, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's listening. Don't match people because some
No.
people tolerance could be way different than yours. And so he comes over and they start getting into like a fight. Like, I mean, I thought I was about to witness some like traumatic type shit. But then out of nowhere, these motherfuckers, they go outside, they come back and they got like a dead animal talking about, yeah, you want to grill this up? I'm like,
Oh, no.
what the fuck is going on? I remember texting being like, yo, I think I probably shouldn't have came out here. Um, I can't just Uber or like call a Lyft and get out of here. And I'm too far from an airport. Like I'm literally in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like I think I might die. So if I do die, these are my farewells because these motherfuckers just came back with a dead animal after literally cussing each other out. Like it was so intense that I didn't know what to do. I started thinking of like, all right, how do I escape? How do I evacuate type thing? And then they just disappeared for a second, and you come back with a random fucking animal talking about, hey, you want to grow up? I was like, nah, this shit is too weird. And it wasn't the dabs because it didn't quite hit me yet at that point. The dabs hit me way after when we started eating dinner because whatever it was fucking good. So.
How do you stay motivated and avoid burnout?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's deep. I know it's deep, but
Yeah. I feel like you have to really, again, have a good real life support system to lean on because it's very easy to get overly consumed in your work. And when you get into the groove of it, you always want to do better than what you're doing. And you're also comparing yourself to your peers and trying to either elevate to where they are or trying to take where they are and then improving it to where it works for you. And that can get very addicting in a bad way. And you also are balancing doing a lot of things on your own. A lot of people aren't in a position where they can, have a personal assistant to help them with a lot of the offline stuff. So just because you're online for, let's say, 4 or 5 hours, you're still doing work offline because now you have to take that content you made, turn it into short form, update all your socials, update everything else, and that can get to be a lot. Um, I think really focusing on mental health and focusing on having a work life balance is very, very important. And I think that will help prevent you from burning out. I think because the internet is literally at the tips of our fingers, it sometimes is hard to disconnect from it than it would be, say, working a 9 to 5. You go into the office, let's say 8 a.m., you clock in, you clock out at 5 p.m., you can disconnect. You're not in the office. But when you're on the internet, it's constantly being thrown in your face. You have Twitter notifications, Instagram notifications. Blue Sky is a new like Twitter-like app coming out. Then you've got TikTok, and you've just got so many things that are constantly being put in your face 24/7. I've recently implemented turning my phone on do not disturb after a certain hour, and I only have 3 people that are able to get through to me. Everyone else, I'll get to them, in the morning or whatever. I don't have my emails in there. I don't have any social media notifications that go through on there. It's a way for me to be able to have a little leisure and kind of just scroll the internet without being reminded of work a lot. And
Yeah.
it's starting to work. But I also did take a little over a year off because I hit a breaking point and I was burnt the fuck out from work and personal that I quite literally lost my mind. So I try to, it's a really good question that you asked us because I really try to remind people of how important it is to take care of your mental health. But as internet creators, it's so easy to forget about that part because you get so consumed with it. So yeah, there isn't really like a perfect solution for it. It's more so as cliche, but really separating reality from the fantasy. Having people in your real life there to help you balance what's real and what's on the internet. Because sometimes those things get blurred all the time. And it has taken people's lives. And
It,
that's the sad part.
it's a very sad part about it. Luckily, when I was in the industry, they didn't really have stuff like that. We had like MySpace,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Facebook just like started around that time. It was one of those things where I wasn't really into it. I was more, my thing is like with the audience, like, yes, we have a digital audience now. I had real people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things where I was one of those, I'll be honest, I was extremely money hungry. There were times where I was doing 3 shoots a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, going to the strip club, making my money, and then putting that money in my bank. I've come to the conclusion after years of therapy and things like that, if I would have saved all that money, I would have been like easily like a half millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
But I chose to spend it on what I thought made me happy, which was, going to the club, buying an expensive car, getting a nice apartment in San Francisco, that things that are so materialistic. And I lost those things. I had a burnout. I had my moment where, I decided this is wrong. Like I can't be doing this. Like I got to figure out something that works for me, something where I can still be creative. But I had 5 years of therapy and I realized it was me just trying to go against everything I was taught. Everything that people kind of instilled in me, I was going against.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie or bullshit, man. I have fun, but I realized I was just trying to fill something that I knew would hurt other people around me because I didn't care. I was in it for me and what I could do to prove to myself. But I realized that was something that kind of made me have that ultimate burnout. And when I didn't have those people around and I didn't have those friends that I thought were friends, it threw me. And especially when I told the partnership I was working with. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not producing it. I'm not going to make it. Need time for me. It was one of those things where it was like, oh, okay, you're like burnt meat. Goodbye. Like, it was one of those things.
Yeah.
It was for a male's perspective of it. I was like, you're kidding me. Like, anytime you needed me, I was there. Anytime you called, I was there. And you don't want to take that into consideration that I need some me time? Damn. All right.
That's what's hard about being in the city life, right? Because back then it wasn't necessarily considered like the industry. It was like being part of the nightlife.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it would be hard. Like some people would take offense to when you would ask for just a little bit of like, just I need some me time. I need to recoup. But again, I feel like when you're at a younger state of mind, it's easier to be selfish. For me, I always knew that I had to work hard and I didn't have a choice. Like I needed to make money to survive. I moved out very young. I moved in with my ex-husband. We were just known each other maybe like a month, 2 months at max. And I knew that I wanted to be better than my family. Like that was always my goal, even as a young kid. I knew that I didn't want to be poor. I didn't want to struggle. My mom was a single parent. My grandparents helped raise me, my sisters. So I really understood what it was like to grow up with not a lot of money, but still trying to make a life, but struggling to do it. I didn't want that for myself. So I was willing to grind. Like I had a full-time corporate job while having a full-time, at the time, adult industry job. Like I'd go into the office or the mall, depending on whatever year it was, and I'd work 10-hour shifts. Then I would come home, get out of my business outfit, get into my lingerie, and then I'd do another 4 or 5 hours online, and I would do that consistently for years. But when I had this last break, this last year, I realized that you can hustle and grind and work your ass off to get everything. Like I bought a house. I had the dogs, I was married. I was able to go travel out the country. I was going to festivals. I was going to raves. I was traveling. I was doing everything that I was like, this is what I'm working for to do. But all of that was gone very quickly, blink of an eye. And I look at where I'm at now, and it's like, I don't need to burn myself out to think that I need to have a great life by doing extravagant things. Those are nice to do. But for me, a great life is having great people around you and being able to just laugh, live, and have memories, because life is so short. You never know when it's your last moment. And I'd rather not have the fancier things in life if that means that I get to spend more time with the people that are in my life, because you just never know when that is your last time. You will hear their voice, lay eyes on them, give them a hug. Like the small things that I think we get used to, we overlook, and then it's too late when we're like, oh fuck, like I should have gave them a kiss this morning, or I should have gave her a hug this morning, but I didn't because I was so focused on in my own little world, and I wish I would have gave them a hug. So little things like that, that I've really been realizing is more important. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love to make money. Obviously, you need money in order to even survive, especially more now than ever with the way the economy is right now. but there is way more to life than just making money. And that is, I think, the ultimate battle that human beings will always face is, how do I still make a living without having to kill myself in the way of destroying your body physically, destroying your mind mentally, because that does play a huge toll, but also then being able to live life the way that I feel we're meant and supposed to live life, which is the happy moments, the fun moments, the kicking it in the yard, drinking a beer, and just fucking talking about the most weirdest out. I mean, we just talked about how poop smell and like,
Yeah.
so I think that it's a very hard thing to balance 100%. And I don't think we ever will truly, because let's use Elon Musk for an example, right?
Yeah.
This motherfucker is a billionaire, all the money in the world. He could literally cure world hunger and still be like, it's literally like wiping his ass with pennies.
Hmm.
But that does not mean that he has, and this is my assumption, but most of the time, the more money you make, the more time you have to invest. I'm sure his life balance might be lackluster because of all of these projects and things that he's doing. Of course, he has a team, he has a lot of people that help him do and execute a lot of this stuff, but you're still the CEO of it. You're still the top of the head of it. You still have to be involved in it and deeply involved in it. Meetings, there's so much behind the scenes of things that I don't think a lot of people realize goes into having a business in any industry, that your life, your real life, takes a hit. And you're okay with that because in your mind, you're convincing yourself, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my partner. The more money I make, the more they benefit, which to a degree is true. But then you reach that point of what you consider a success, but now you're missing the most important thing, which is happiness. You've missed out on the memories. You've missed, your kids are now parents. You have grandchildren, so it's a hard balance. It truly is a hard balance. And I don't think that this is the way we were supposed to be, but this is how we are now, and society plays a huge part in that.
It's one of those things, and you touched on it. It took me that 5 years to kind of do that soul searching and to realize I can still do these things and I can still make a good amount and I can still support myself. Was I happier then or am I happier now? And I came to the realization that I'm happier now than I was getting in my money.
Mm-hmm.
And having the nice things and doing that stuff. Yeah, it looks good on the gram, but you know how people say that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't devalue you as a person to live a normal life.
Yeah.
And live within those means, because you will realize when you do that, you will actually find genuine connections. You will
Mm-hmm.
find people that actually, I'm gonna be blunt as hell, give a fuck about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally, if I have about 5 people I can call in my phone, and I said, look, I need to get away for a minute. Can you come get me, or can I fly to you?
Mm-hmm.
And they would be like, yes, I'm preparing the room right now. What do you want for dinner? It's one of those things where when I was in that, I didn't have that. So I cherish that more, or like I cherish time more, really. Somebody that takes the time out of their day to have a conversation, to reach out, to talk, or even just if it's like a dude, are you good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I value way more than any conversation I had with business, any conversation I had with the industry, or anybody that I met.
Agreed. Like
Because it's real.
100%. And I think
And
we get so numb to that part that we forget how important that is.
it's so important. And when we're kind of caught up in, let's just use the analogy, the rat race, that's what it is.
Hmm.
When we're caught up in it, it's hard to take that step back and be like, do I value this, like this time I'm spending? Because when we look back on it, we're like, yo, we spent way too much time doing that.
Hmm.
Way too much time in things that, didn't really make us much. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things that I've learned later in life that, I would rather have those small moments and those conversations like out on a porch or in a park than a 5-star dinner.
Yeah. Like I'm the type of person where I literally I have a Polaroid camera. I love taking pictures. I love documenting something in the moment because I remember those for years. Like it's like I have a digital photo album in my brain that I hope stays with me until I'm no longer breathing because I can hear a song, boom, I know what year it is, I know what month it is, I know what I'm doing, I know who I'm with, and it's like this was an amazing moment. And I cherish that so much. And it really took for me though, like I've always cherished spending time and I've always cherished, like creating time for those that matter. But it really wasn't until I was quite literally forced to have to stop and reevaluate everything in my life and ask myself, because I didn't have a choice but to face what's truly going to make me happy and how do I accomplish that? Because what you've been doing, I feel like has not made you happy. It's just kept you going and it's kept you being able to pay the bills and, go on trips. And unfortunately, since my career has been on the internet for over a decade, I would be that bitch taking fucking fancy ass photos at a nice restaurant just so I could post it on the gram. I'm not going to that restaurant because I want to go with the person I'm with. No, I want to go so I can post it on the internet. So now I'm losing the actual meaning and the reasoning of why I want to go out and have a good time. It's not to have a good time, it's to work. So if I can give anyone any advice, it would truly be to create a schedule because that is the freedom. You are your own boss. Create a schedule that allows you to be full time, but also allows you to disconnect and spend time in real life doing real life things. Because when you have that balance, I think you'll be able to go a lot longer. You won't burn out as quickly and you'll feel more creative juices as well because your brain isn't being overly tapped or overly worked trying to constantly come up with new ideas or trying to keep things fresh and always remembering that you truly do not know when is going to be the last time that you see someone you care about or even speak to. And I think if we have that always reminded, it would make connections a little bit more important in the forefront of our minds now. But that, that's in a perfect world where it
Yeah,
sounds like easy to do, but then you get right back into the rat race. So,
it's hard to balance that, but if anybody, it's hard to even get started doing that. Let's just be real.
mhm.
It's hard to even start that conversation within your head. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't be afraid to make that leap. Don't be
Mhm.
afraid to put little steps in motion. And I tell this to everybody. don't be afraid to take that, because you're going to look back a year from now going, wow, I actually have a lot of improvement. I've actually done the things I wanted to do, and I've actually grown as a better person because of it. That's why I use this analogy, and it's something that I've adopted, is do what you love and remember you are somebody. Because if you're not doing something you love doing, why the fuck are you doing it?
I agree.
Um,
And on the flip of that, because, not everyone is going to be able to do what they love and they still have to make a living. But that's when you can then create time for hobbies. And I know there's going to be people out there listening thinking, like, oh, well, you're your own boss. You get to create your own schedule. You can do whatever you want. But I've also been very much in the corporate industry for basically more than half my life. Like, I know what it's like to be clocked in under someone else's time and be exhausted when you get home and then know you have to do it again the next day, and you get maybe 2 days off, but then you get called in and you're like, "Well, I need the money, so I'm going to go in." And it's not always as easy as it sounds, but at the same time it is. It's just about removing the fear of the unknown and removing yourself from your pattern that you have created, the robotic pattern, as I like to refer to it, and not being afraid to ask for help. And for me, I've never asked, it's been very difficult for me to ever ask anyone for help because of my childhood into my adulthood. I always knew that I'm the only person I could depend on. And I also don't like being a burden on other people, especially when I know they're going through shit too. So I don't want to add that extra. Like, I've been known to be the light for other people. I don't want to be the darkness and ask for help in whatever capacity. But if you have the right people around you and that care about you, do not be afraid to reach out and ask for help. As embarrassing it might seem, as prideful it might be, they're there for you the same way you're there for them. And we literally cannot get through life without having a village. Like, it takes a village to raise a child, right? It takes a village to do anything at any age. You need people around you, but no one's going to know you're hurting. No one's going to know you need help if you don't open your mouth. Closed mouth don't get fed. Um, so also there's also that to look at too, because I know I'm privileged and blessed in so many ways, but I also worked my ass off to get to where I am. And I also lost everything that I spent all of my adult life working towards. And starting over, quite literally, is hard. It's like almost like humbling. It's like a reminder of what it's like to almost be in the real world, and I put quotes around that. Um, but knowing that that shit doesn't matter at the end of the day. Money comes and goes. Houses come and go. Cars come, everything comes and go. But what will stick with you forever are those memories you spend with people that matter. And that is something that I think, if money wasn't such an important factor, that we would be much better off as people towards each other, because there truly would be more love in the world than what it is now. But yeah. I get a little passionate about that
well,
because
no,
it's
that's
hard.
what this freaking podcast is about. It's getting to know the person behind the camera, and a lot of people find out things about me that they didn't even freaking know. They don't know that I am one of those people that is a mental health advocate. I'm gonna tell people, like, if you have an issue or you have something where you can't talk to or are afraid to talk to XYZ, I've always been that person to shoulder that. Call it my inner Pisces.
You're a
Um,
Pisces?
I am a Pisces, but I'm the fuck around and find out Pisces.
So you're a March Pisces.
I'm a February Pisces.
Oh,
Um,
nah. I don't fuck with you.
but 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 I'm on that weird like cusp where I'm like I shouldn't have been born on this date
I got you.
because I have like traits of everything. But it's the I'm more of that Pisces that always goes, I know when something's up. I know when somebody's hurting. And I will actually reach out to them. Even if I'm in like not the right headspace, I still want to make sure that those people are good.
Yeah.
So I get you on that, like 100%. I also am on the flip side of it too, where I'm like, I shouldn't reach out to this person because I don't want to be a burden. But then I've realized that's what your friends are there for. That's what the people that actually rock with you and really ride with you are there for, and they're gonna reciprocate it.
Mhm.
But now we're gonna dive into something a little bit weird here. If there was one fetish you could wipe off the face of the earth and it wouldn't be in existence, which one would it be?
Feet fetish, honestly.
Okay.
For real.
For real. Same, but mine would be the how does this one even it's the squishing, it's the squish fetish. The like squishing items.
Oh, like the ASMR?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Oh,
That gives me all
see.
it's too much audio sensory overload.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I
It's
personally enjoy it.
it just reminds me of things that I don't want to be reminded of.
Yeah, and that's with me with feet. So I get it. I get it.
Like I can handle like when they do the water, like the waterfalls and like the beads. Okay, that's cool. But when they start getting out the gack and the slime and the poppy balls and
That's
the
too much.
is it's a little too much. It's a little too much for me. Hey, we
Alright, let me
straight
flip it.
we straight diverted from the streaming topic.
Oh.
Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me honestly anywhere. It's XoSashaRaee, which is RAEE, and it's the same handle across all platforms. Right now, I am just now getting back to work in all aspects because I took, as I mentioned earlier, a very long break from everything. So Kick, Twitter, Instagram. Um, OF, Chatterbait, and my brain is literally YouTube, like quite literally everywhere.
Perfect. That's always an easy one when it's always like even across the board. That's what mine
Yeah.
is too. That's a piece of advice I can give to a streamer. I know it's hard to come up with a unique name. I know it's hard to do all this stuff, but if you can find something where either you accidentally have an X in front of your name or you have like a Y, anything, but it's all across the board, that is how to market yourself. When you have everything across the
100%.
board, everybody can find you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not everybody's going to have access to you. Let me get that clear. But they can find you. And you know
Very
what I
true.
mean by that.
Yep.
So with the last little bit of the podcast, I like to do this thing called Into the Thick of It rapid fire questions.
Ooh, okay.
And these are questions like can be one word answers. You don't got to go crazy elaborate on them. We have about 10 questions and we'll see how many you can get.
All right, let's do it.
Because the last one was 10 for 10.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I'm very competitive, so
So I'm
now
just
you
saying,
just unlocked the competitive side of me, so let's go.
I might go for 11. You know, you never know.
Ah, shit. All right.
All right. Have you ever, and we're going to get into it right now. Have you ever won a bet?
Yes.
Do you have a bucket list?
Yes.
Would you ever skydive?
No.
Have you ever worn socks with your sandals?
Yes.
Can you name more than 3 U.S. presidents?
Yes.
Name them.
Obama, Trump, George Bush.
Perfect. Do you like to correct people on their grammar?
No.
Do you like clothes shopping?
Yes.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yes.
Work or play?
Play.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Summer or winter?
Ooh. Winter.
Salty or sweet?
Salty.
Okay, we're going to go for a crazy little 2 more here. Night in or a night out?
Night out.
Do you like killing bugs or no?
Fuck, yes.
Do you prefer driving or flying?
Driving.
Okay. Well, that was your rapid fire questions. I don't know how many we did, but we did a lot there.
We did.
You was quick with it.
Quick.
There was no delay. There was no nothing. So on the last little bit of the podcast here, I always like to open up the floor for you to any type of parting wisdom you'd like to do, any advice, talk your shit, tell Amy she sucks.
Fucking Amy.
Whoever you want to talk about or say or do anything like that, the floor is yours.
Well, I would just say that don't be afraid to start over in life. Sometimes starting over is what's best for you and what's needed. And also don't let age discourage you from thinking that you're not where you think you should be. Age is just a construct created, made up. And I feel like if you just live your life the best that you can, you do things that make you happy, that it will hopefully create a much healthier and a much more fun time to live while we are on this weird thing we call planet Earth. And also take care of yourselves. I know I kind of went really deep into it earlier, but I think it's very important to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. There's a lot of resources out there. If you may not have anyone in your circle that you can depend on, there are resources out there. You can always hit me up in my inbox. I am a huge advocate for mental health. I try to curate a safe space where if you need to talk, you can talk about it. It's always confidential. But I also do have boundaries because I am learning as myself too, going through a new journey in life, that it's okay to not have space when it comes to that. And that does not mean you're not valued. That does not mean that you're not important. It just means that you have to create boundaries for yourself as well. Life is scary. Life is stressful. Life is a fucking pain in the ass. But at the same time, life can be very rewarding and it can be very beautiful if you allow the beauty to come in through all of that darkness and negativity. So, yeah, just take care of those that are around you. You never know what someone is going through. A simple good morning text could really save someone's life, and you would never know. So treat people with kindness and remember we are all humans before we are anything else in this world. And life's too fucking short to care about all the drama and the negativity. So, yeah, I will leave you all with that. And shake some ass.
And shake some ass. That is 100%. I 100% agree with what you're saying right now. But I did want to give you a little bit of shout out on something you touched on a little bit. Sasha also makes digital art, digital prints, and digital and canvases. If you want to check those out, please go check them out. You can check them out, I believe, on Instagram, if I remember right.
Yes, it's femfataleartistry.com or FFA Artistry on Instagram. And I am making a comeback with a new series on that as well.
I'm excited to see it. From being a published model, motivator, being authentic, being in the mental health advocacy field, you are a awesome person, a gentle soul. Even though I know my people might not say that, but you are a very nice person, and I really do appreciate you coming on, telling your story, cupna kikiing, and having a little bit of fun.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast. It's been a vibe. And, I love to kiki, haha, spill a little bit of tea without spilling the tea. Well, I love it. And Amy didn't show up today. So it's always a W when Amy's not here.
It's okay. I fired her. So bye, Amy.
Bye.
Fired. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for tuning into the Thick of It podcast with your boy Ayo Fuzz and Sasha. We will see you guys on the flip side. Till next time, remember to spay and neuter your spouses. Bye. I'm kidding with the spay and neuter, guys. Bye.